I am Nat Nye, the lyrical alchemist, a spoken word artist, MC, and thought leader. And one whole of the power couple, which makes us two.
Yes, I am Stella B. I am a multidisciplinary artist. And what brings me here is the Blackluv.
Yeah, we about Blackluv, so that's why we're here.
Yeah.
My name's Hartley, and this is my wife, Natasha. Not mean to speak for you, but I am the boss, so... So we both currently reside in Clacton-on-Sea on the Essex coast. Originally, I was from South London and Natasha's from East London, and then we both moved in together in South London and then moved to Essex shortly after that. So we've been around a bit.
And I'm Natasha. My husband spoke for me.
My name's Joanna. I'm 32 years old. We are married. I think for me, I like the idea of celebrating Black love. So that would be the main reason why I want to be on this show. I think it's important for people to see relationships in natural states as well. So, yeah.
My name is Haberdine. As my wife said, we are married. Going off from what she said, it's just about just sharing our experience and then just letting people into our world, really.
Well, so I'm Peter Hines. This is my wife, Angela. We are in Blackheath. We liked the idea of the show, and we're happy to portray and show others who we are and what we are about and our love.
Definitely, yes. So as Peter said, he's my husband, born and bred in Deptford. That's you.
Yep.
I'm born in Hammersmith, so I'm West London girl, but South London originally. Majority of my childhood's in Amerley. We now live in Blackheath. We have 3 children between us, 2 boys and a girl. And I think, yes, I'm just echoing what you said and the fact that I don't feel like we're representing
No.
we are who we are, but when you look on the outside of it, it's a brilliant experience to be asked to do a documentary like this because we can express our love, which happens to be Black love.
Yeah.
Yeah, for others.
Others to see.
Yeah.
So we kind of got involved in the show to inspire, I guess, educate, help uplift, fulfill people's lives by just sharing our story to the world.
And also remind ourselves what we have. And by the way, I'm Nina, and this is Terry, my husband. We've been together for 20 years.
The Longmores, representing the UK, US, and Mauritius.
And Mauritius. I'm from Mauritius originally.
Yeah.
And
I'm raised in Washington, D.C., so we live here in London. Have a family, have a business,
we
have a
2
career.
children, 2 girls, Ria and Isha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
11 and 7. And that's us.
My name is Shaq B. Grant. I'm an actor, and this is my wonderful wife.
I'm Tamika Ramsey Grant, and I need to get used to saying it because we just got married. And I'm an actress and a singer. And yeah, we've been together for
almost 9 years.
Almost 9 years. And we met at the tender ages of 18 and 19 at drama school, where I wasn't going to look for no man, but ended up finding you.
And I wasn't looking for...
Lies.
No, I wasn't looking for a partner. I was looking for... Dang. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking for a partner. I'm an actor as well. Like you said, we met at drama school.
Yeah.
And have been blessed to have almost 9 years together.
Yeah.
Mm.
Woo.
Yeah.
It's been real.
I'm Conrad Meacham. and this is my wife,
Camilla.
Chancellor Meacham.
Chancellor Mitchum. Oh my gosh, we're still going with. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what you chose when we got married. So, yeah.
It's my maiden name combined with his name, which he has always had a grouse about.
Always. And it goes back to, why did you feel the need to add in that little extra bit? Because my name was already long enough.
Because I promised my dad I was going to keep it when he wasn't there anymore. So, I felt obligated to do it. He didn't have any boys, so I had to keep the name. It's not a big deal. Your children don't have it. What's a big deal?
Fair enough.
Okay.
As long as, I mean, it's been 30 years. I'm going to let it go at some point.
How long have we been together? 30 years.
We've been married almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years in September. September the 11th. We were the original disaster.
But we've known each other for 32.
Yeah, 32 years.
That's true.
My name is Addo Ramsey, and this is...
I'm Timothy Ramsey.
My amazing husband. We have been married for 25 years. And we have 3 amazing, beautiful, phenomenal kids. And we have an amazing granddaughter, and we are literally about to welcome our 2nd grandchild. So
yeah,
our hearts are full. Our hearts are full. And, we're here today just to share on love and, what lasting moments look like and how to really help people understand and know that if you are willing, committed, and ready to work, marriage can last and it can be absolutely beautiful. So, yeah.
That was very good.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm so
good.
happy that, you enjoyed that.
That
specifically for you.
So, yeah, we're family orientated, of course.
Yes, very much so.
25 years in marriage, you see a lot. You learn a lot.
Yes, sir.
And so we've learned a lot, most definitely. And so I think definitely as well, the concept of Blackluv is something that's close to our heart.
Yes.
To see it modeled more.
Yeah, definitely.
Oftentimes in our community, they say it's not really being modeled as much as it could be in other communities.
Yeah.
And so it's important to us to be a representative of the culture.
Yes.
I think, first and foremost for me, I'm very, very proud of my wife. I'm proud of our relationship, and I'm proud of the achievements within our relationship. I think that, without sounding egotistical, that there is a lot about our relationship that could prove to be quite useful for people. Don't want to be so arrogant as to say inspirational, but I think that our journey has had some very interesting, almost circuitous routes, and it hasn't necessarily gone down the conventional pathway that most people would assume for a relationship that's lasted as long as ours. What do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely echo that. I just think that watching back on the other season, it was just really nice to see beautiful Black couples just coming and telling their story. So yeah, I wanted to be one of those beautiful Black couples telling our story.
Our first kiss was at the hotel that we stayed in Portugal. They had a welcome party. I spotted Hartley because I think that's the guy that helped me carry my bag. So I went over to him and I sat down next to him, and I think we were just talking. And when you turn, say we were just sitting like this, and then we turned and we both turned at the same time and our lips touched. And yeah, that was our first kiss.
Not exactly a kiss, but okay.
Our lips touched.
Okay, fair enough. Was that our... Okay.
I don't remember our first kiss.
Our first kiss? I'm trying to think. I know our first outing was when we went to Nigerian Independence Day.
Was that our first outing?
I think so.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's been very long.
I can't remember the first kiss though. Nah, I can't remember the first kiss.
I can't remember.
A few days later.
Yeah.
In the hotel.
But one of the parties?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably one of the parties.
It's okay. She's younger. She's got a far better memory than I have. So
I know the first time we kissed. It was when we were doing a scene at drama school. We weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, but we were speaking. And I remember I was in the house, had to open the door, and he walked in, and I was his partner, and he just kissed me, and I was like, oh, so we're doing that, are we? Like, and I know he was pushing it.
That was the
yeah. He was like, let me just do it here. And I was like, nah.
We
But
set the pace.
It was cute. I was like, oh, Carmex.
Yeah. And that way, I don't even use non-carbs. Anything's official.
So yeah, that was the first time that we kissed, and then after that, we were kissing just normally. Yeah.
You might tell this one.
I'll go into my database bank of my mind and mention that I think that our first kiss was on our first date together. I use the word date. And we went to, I think you suggested we went to a restaurant in Clapham Junction.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
And I remember it being a really nice, was it Mongolian restaurant? Like because they made all the food in front of you. That's when we got to know each other and talk to each other, etc. And I remember we left the restaurant, and I remember you opened the door for me to go out the restaurant, and then you shut it. So you left me outside. I'm glad you're really laughing because I usually remember.
Yep.
And then I think we went to the car. Those are the days when you could actually park on Clapham Common. Yeah. And I think you either opened the door for me and said, can I have a kiss? It happened around the car, whether it was in the car or outside the car, something like that. That's, I remember when it happened. Yes, that's as far as my mind is going.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree
Clapham Common outside by my car.
Outside a mention the word restaurant, make it more romantic.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Sounds like gone to Clapham Common. Someone.
Tell you about our first kiss.
It's 100 years ago.
Well, I actually remember it. You won't, but I do.
You remember everything.
Yeah, just because I can keep, blackmailing you as we go along.
Take space.
The first time I kissed Camilla, it was over her apartment.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you come over for dinner?
Not that time, no.
Oh.
No. That's a whole nother story. Dinner.
Yeah, dinner. I threw away dinner.
My wife got mad at me, but when we were dating, and she invited me over for dinner, and I was late.
Very late.
I was very late. I was probably a few hours late. And by the time I got there, she had gotten mad and thrown the dinner in the trash.
That doesn't answer the question about the kiss.
I just mentioned the kiss, but I'm just throwing in some flavor.
How do we overcome big arguments? I'd say, realistically, we've had big arguments before. We've had one argument before, which I think probably not the worst, but this is before we were married. When I was like, I can't do this, and I was like, we're done. But then after that, we kind of reconvened and we sorted it out. But in terms of how we overcome,
we get people involved. I think I got my mum involved. I was like, "Mum, speak to him."
That's not how we overcome big arguments on a regular basis.
Oh, okay.
How do we overcome tough times and conflict?
We talk a lot.
That's the fundamental thing. It's talk. Problem is, for me, is, as you can guess by the phone comment I made earlier, I'm not a big talker. I'm the raiser of eyebrows. I'm the I don't know. I'm that guy.
We get people involved, I think. I got my mum involved. I was like, "Mum, speak to him."
That's not how we overcome big arguments on a regular basis.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So how we overcome big arguments, I'd say, being realistic, there is an argument, as in like it can be quite heated and stuff, but I think eventually it leads to
not being overly serious about it and laughing and I don't know, remembering that we're still friends.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it doesn't feel like a big argument.
Yeah.
So to me, it wouldn't be a big argument because we're laughing about it and we're discussing it. And obviously, so when we argue, Mario shuts off and I'm still like banging on the door, like, I want to talk to you. And then he's like, I can't talk to you now because we're upset. I'm not happy with you, but I don't stop. And I think and then by the end of it, you're like, it just makes you laugh.
Sometimes I think it's about taking time in between so that each other can process stuff rather than trying to hash it out immediately, because that can do more damage than benefit, basically.
Yeah. How do we overcome tough times? I think we've gotten better overcoming tough times. I think in the old days, I've got a bit of a hot head, so I think, everything, whatever comes to my mind usually comes out my mouth. But I've gotten better at thinking before I speak, picking my battles, and just waiting for the right time to kind of have those conversations. And I think for you, you make it easier to overcome conflict because of your, let's just make it into a joke. And after that, obviously you can make me laugh. So after laughing, I kind of just let it go because I don't really hold on to grudges. I just like to have my moment, allow me to have my bang, and then I kind of go over it. But I have to have the bang. If I don't have the bang, then we can't go over it. I have to just say my own. But like I said, I've gotten better at, speaking respectfully and not just allowing my mouth to kind of run mad.
Yeah, I'm the I don't know, I'm that guy. But if there is a problem, because we've been together for so many years, I have learned now to, if there's an issue, if there's something I don't like or Natasha doesn't like, she will actually she'll ask me, what's going on, what's wrong, are you okay? And we'll talk it out. So it
I think
is.
the communication, it's something that we've learned over the years. It's easier to communicate and just say what it is that each of us are feeling, or, right, okay, we've got to this stage now. How are we going to move forward? What do we do to move forward? Doesn't need to be an argument or anything like that. It is literally, right, we're at this place now. How are we going to get to the next place?
Like I said, I've gotten better at, speaking respectfully and not just allowing my mouth to kind of run mad.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've learned as well from letting you have your moment, whereas I'll just be like what you said in the old days. I don't want to make the old days sound like we're talking about thousands of years ago, but to allow you to have that moment rather than being, oh, what the hell is wrong with you? Like taking offense to everything that you said. So now I just let her have a moment. I just give you a breathing space. And whereas where I used to just keep everything in and don't talk, I don't want to talk about it, that's how I deal with it. But now I'm more open to talk about it, like speak about things, be more, do you know what I mean? So I think that's how I deal with overcome situation and conflict. I think we talk about things more openly, express our feelings a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think definitely counselling helped.
Yeah.
Counselling helped give us the right tools to kind of.
Most definitely. I still don't like having conversation for a long time. Like you go on and have conversations for about an hour. I just want to have that sweet, short conversation, 10 minutes. Yeah, I want to have 5 minutes conversation. I'm not here for a lecture or come back at uni.
Us women like to speak.
Yeah, us men like to keep it brief as well. Do you know what I mean? You might have some men that like to talk for an hour, but I'm not one of those men. I just like to keep it simple and keep it moving.
Don't really have conflicts, do we? I mean, we've had differences. It's a discussion. In the past, I've probably have upset Angela. She's vented her anger at me. And then, once I've seen the errors of my ways and apologise, we get on. But I don't think we really have, fights or big disagreements, to be honest. We're sort of fortunate like that, would you say?
I think definitely, because we respect each other so much. That's how I feel. Hopefully I'm respecting you, etc., etc.
We definitely get over big arguments by... We have to talk love first. We kind of shout out love to disrupt the kind of emotions that are going through each other at that time. So it's like, hello, we love each other first. Remember that. And then we can break down, the barriers and start talking and communicating again. It does happen. Arguments do happen.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
Yeah.
It's a part of it.
We had those.
Yeah.
We've had those.
What would you say the biggest argument we ever had?
I think the biggest
I don't
argument.
even remember.
I think when Ria was born, we were going through
yeah.
a rough patch.
Yeah.
Because our first child was born 8 years in our relationship. So we've only known each other for 8 years. And then you have a tiny person who is part of us in that dynamics. And that was a rough patch. And I guess depression probably was.
Yeah, because you suffered with postnatal depression, and I wasn't aware that it was happening. You were trying to convey to me, this is what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, you tripping. And you were like, no, this is these are my signs. And it wasn't until when she was probably 3 or 4 months, it just dawned on me that that's actually what you were going through.
How do we overcome tough times and conflict? We talk
a lot.
Yeah, we talk about everything, and we reason our way through it. We have deep conversations about things.
Yeah, we do. We talk about everything. I mean, there was a time that he was doing his radio show, and when he came off air, I went downstairs and I gave him a hug because I knew he emotionally wasn't in a very good place. But it's just, some of it's instinct, but we know how to work through and talk to one another, and we know when to leave each other alone and when to talk. And
and after you've been together so long, you can pick up pointers or markers of what someone's going through and what they may need from you.
Instinctively, you know.
Yeah, you kind of pick it up.
And things are wrong. But we talk.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time together. We talk a lot.
We do.
And it wasn't until when she was probably 3 or 4 months, it just dawned on me that that's actually what you were going through. So I was being a bit pedantic about the whole thing. No, you just had a baby, you're fine, it's all good. But and then our relationship became strained because you thought I was withdrawing. I thought you were bugging out.
Yeah.
And then that created a bit of a clash.
And we had a series of those. And it was not just one time. It was a few, different weeks. We would have a new one. It would be something very different from, it's your turn to change the nappy, or, I want to be a stay-at-home mum all of a sudden.
Yeah.
How would you make that happen? Things that we've always discussed all of a
Plus,
sudden.
I was studying. I was still doing my degree.
You were studying, and I put my studies on hold. So it was a lot of resentment, probably. And how did we get over that?
How do we overcome big arguments? It's interesting because we still argue at times. Not much, but there are times where she's just not trying to understand the wisdom and knowledge that I possess and receive instruction and truth. And sometimes I have to check her a little bit. No. So what we do is quite funny. There are some times where we've argued, and one principle we've tried to live by is, don't carry those arguments into the next day.
Right.
Don't carry the bad vibes or the disconnects or the miscommunications into the next day. So there's times where the next day we've just connected as normal, and we didn't even mention what happened prior. in the prior day. But then there's some times where no, we actually have to address and talk about what happened.
Yeah.
And process how did we get from this level to that level. And communicate our way through that.
Right.
But in a much better place.
So I would say what's really important is that we give each other space, and also kind of consider the timing in terms of when we're going to kind of come back together and resolve the issue. But I think for us, having been together so long, it's just having that knowledge that this too will pass. So you just get on with life and you do what you've got to do, and you don't kind of like allow it to consume you, because you know that it will pass just like everything else. And I feel like because we've been together for so long, we understand when things are getting to the point where this could turn into a big argument. So we're a lot more skilled at not even letting it get to that stage.
All of a
Plus,
sudden,
I was studying. I was still doing my degree.
you were studying, and I
So-
put my studies on hold. So it was a lot of resentment, probably. And how did we get over that? Your mum and dad, my mum and dad.
Yeah, because your mom came here and your dad flew up from Mauritius, and they stepped in for like
They
6
stepped
months with the
in.
babysitting duties.
And your mum and dad on the phone,
Yep.
constantly guiding us.
Especially my mom was always reassuring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your parents were the bomb, though. They came over and they was babysitting for like 6 months.
Yeah, so I think for us getting over a big argument, so I think we've gone a bit too deep. Getting over a big argument, I think for us, we've had to have intervention from our parents.
And I feel like because we've been together for so long, we understand when things are getting to the point where this could turn into a big argument. So we're a lot more skilled at not even letting it get to that stage.
I'm actually literally trying to remember the last time we had a quote unquote big argument. You know, I genuinely can't remember when it was. Space, absolutely the case. I think now we found our new love of walking as well. That'll probably help.
Yeah,
Going
let's
on
go.
a little
Let's go
walk.
for a walk. That'll
Do you
be
know
the
what I
next
mean?
one.
Yeah, space, time. Back in the day, it'd probably be the make-up sex. You know,
Back in the day, but
back in the day.
yeah.
But I don't know. Almost. I'm struggling to remember the last time we had a big argument.
You know, let me say this with marriage. I think there's so many times that you can be, and marriage is the one place where your irritant level is heightened.
Right.
And so there's just moments that we've realized we had to decide, is this worth it? Like, am I going to actually have this massive argument just so that I can prove I was right? Or just so that I could have the last word, or just so that I could be the one that comes out on top. And you know, for one of the things that we've learned going through our marriage is we've learned you've got to know which battle is really going to be a battle that will shift and shake you, and be okay with addressing those things. And some of the times, you know, when he's saying, okay, maybe we wouldn't have addressed it, because we'll wake up and be like, why were we even arguing? That was dumb.
So dumb.
And we'll just, and literally we'll look at each other and just laugh like that was stupid. But you have to grow into that space, and you have to be very good in communicating. Actually, these are the things that trigger me, or these are the things that, you know, I'm dealing with traumatically. So these, like, if you say something to me this way, I will respond that way. And so I think when you have open and honest communication, you'll find that even in the bigger arguments, you're able to really work your way through it.